Hey guys, thank you for checking out our video. My name's Sean Elders and this is Pinnacle Combat Arts. Like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell so you can be notified every time we get a new video. Today we're going to be talking more about single weapon, okay, it could be single sword or single stick, and how do we sector in and out, creating new lines of attack and going in from largo mano into medio mano at the same time. Intermediate single stick work. Let's get started. So based on our last video, make sure you watch that one before you watch this one, because this is the next step to that, okay? So in the last video, when he gave me the number 1, I engaged it here, just like this. I come into this sector 4, I pass it, okay? Now it's important, instead of you guys are used to doing this and then coming here and doing all that, do it with inside the regular contra sombrata. This time you're engaging it, staying there. It's important that you stay there, okay? Because if I don't stay there and I try to pass this, I'm gonna cut myself. You see? I'm gonna chop my own head off or cut into myself, okay? So I wanna engage this first. And it happens really fast, okay? That's the idea of it. I come into sector 4 and I pass it and then I cut right to the forearm, okay? I'm set up, now I can do a number 1. He steps back, 1 and 2. He steps back in, he re-engages, passes, cuts my arm, and I go to a roof, 1 and 2. So this is the basic drill right here. Okay, so I come into that sector 4. So the next one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in this sector here, okay, and I'm going to pass it, but what's gonna happen is this time he's not gonna let me cut a number 2. I pass it, he does an outside deflection, goes just in that position. So we'll just practice that individually first. So we go 1, I pass, outside deflect, okay? So if you haven't done outside deflection, you need to go back to some of my other basic contra sombrata exercises to teach you how to do that. So the important part of the basic inside and outside deflection is that we're going from shoulder position to shoulder position. In the first set of contra sombratas, when you first get started learning contra sombrata, one of the things that a lot of people don't really understand is they go, I'm learning all these different lines of attack, but how do I end up with this? For instance, if you did the high box, some people call it the high box. When we go roof, 1, and he gives me that 2, and I do that outside deflection, and we just do this high outside deflection box, just like this. How am I ending up on this side? Why am I ending up on this side? The reason why I'm ending up on that side is because when I go to the inside deflection, the person is actually later on going to pass, and you got to get used to it. Now, it's important that when somebody does a pass like this, if he does the pass to me, go ahead and do the pass to me, I bring my weapon to my shoulder like this, okay, or close to it, okay, because when he starts to do that too, then I'm able to have the right amount of force against force to engage the attack properly. Okay, that's very, very important with all of this. So when I'm here, boom, okay? It's important that one of the exercises that I like to teach is to do this motion right here. Notice this is you think of this as a triangle. This is the triangular state of the force, okay? So when I come on this side, I'm engaging the force here, or I'm engaging the force here, but notice it's in my center line. That's very important. If I engage force and it's way out here, guess what? I'm wide open for attacks, and I'm not engaging it at my most strongest point. My most strongest point is always gonna be at my center, okay? So when I come here, so you can practice just going back and forth. See, this would be an inside deflection. Notice I'm turning my body so that this goes into my center line, and then I'm engaging this. See this? Okay? So that's an inside deflection. That's an outside deflection. Or it can be, you can keep your hands in the inside if I'm not doing some major movement here. But it's important that you guys kind of get this feel down, because when he goes here and let's do sector 4 and pass. Boom. See that? See how I brought that back to this position? You're engaging that the proper way. I'm engaging it. So again, he passes, and I go bam, and see I have the force behind it to engage. Now, some people will say, well, what if he goes straight in? Well, that's the case. You have to have the sensitivity and the know-how to deal with that. Boom. See, if he does that, I have to stay there, because I can tell based on where his fist is what he's going to end up doing. But when I come here, a lot of times he's going to want to bring his hand back a little bit, Yep. So he can chop at me. It may not be all the way back, but it's going to be a little bit, because if I just go like this, then it may cut me, but okay. So there's actual force that's behind all these movements. So when I go here and he engages, I'm going to go here, bam, and we go back into it. So it's going to be just like the other exercise, okay? When I go here, 1, I pass, he does an outside deflection, but now he's going to come back with a 1. I lateral step back and do the roof. I go 1 and 2, okay? Then I step in, he engages it, and he goes for the cut. Notice what I do with my hand when he does that. I bring my weapon back like this as he's passing so that I can engage that right away, okay? He steps back, we 1 and 2, and he re-engages. I pass and go in. See that? See that force I have? See? Okay, then I did something else. But the idea is there, okay? 1, pass, outside deflection, roof. 1, 2, step back in. Boom. Outside deflection. 1, 2, engage. Pass. Outside deflection. 1 and 2. Yep. So with the stick, it's a little bit different because it's a impact weapon. We think about edge weapon. We think about impact weapon. They are willed differently. A lot of people, they don't really understand that. I feel like a lot of the Filipino, a lot of people that practice Filipino martial arts, they don't really understand the concepts behind this, okay? You need to be able to pick up any object and use it as a weapon. Some weapons are edged. Some weapons are impact weapons. So based on that, we have to change the way that we fight a little bit, okay? The reason why we even use sticks, rattan sticks anymore, is because back when Spaniards occupied the Philippines, they didn't allow the Spaniards to have swords. So they had these vines growing everywhere, and they straightened them out and cut them when they got to the right length, and they started using them as practice weapons and also for protection in hiding, okay? So when we go to this position here, 1, I have to engage it with the same amount of force, and I pass that. He comes in, boom. Okay, and we go in. Okay, so we go when I pass here, just like this. Let's slow it down a little bit for them so they can. Boom. 1 and 2. See that? I come into this sector. I pass it, and I go to the 2. So see how I bring that weapon back. So when, for instance, if he does that pass again, notice, look at my weapon. It goes right to my shoulder, and then I engage it, okay? Now, you can communicate with your partner. The person that feeds the number 2, you can say, I want it to be full range, full power, or I want it to be, you know, sneaky. I want it to either go here and be sneaky and try to hit you in the head, or you can go like this and give it a little more power. You need to practice both, okay? You don't know you don't know what's going to happen and how it's going to go down. You need to be able to get used to both types of energy, and that's very important when it comes to this exercise. Now what you can do is you can blend the different ones together, okay? So when I go here, I pass it, and he goes, and I come back in. When I come here and I pass, and I go in here, okay? Now when he comes in, I could just go right back to Contra Sombrado. Actually, let's do the 5 count. Yep. Okay. Okay. So when I get here, just like that, I pass it, and then we can go back into it. You see that? He passes. You're getting a little sneaky with me. Okay. Yeah, that's what happens. So there's a little rhythm that gets in there, and you got to get a feel for that rhythm when you're working this exercise, okay? So how do I go in and out from the one exercise to the other, or one from doing the wedging, passing to Contra Sombrado? When I go into this position here and I pass, okay, and I come back, when I go to this position here and he passes, okay, and I go to this position, now when instead of him stepping back, this is the way that I know that we're going to go back into Sombrado. He doesn't step back when he does the roof. He feeds me a 1, and I just do drop sticks, in low wing, so on and so forth. Okay? So that's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to help you guys facilitate the ability to go from one exercise to the next without having to think about it at all, because that's what creates the right attributes to learn how to go from one range to the next and be able to learn how to do what we call line familiarization. And in line familiarization, there's two aspects, being able to identify openings and being able to identify attacks. And when you do identify, aspect is for identifying attacks right now, okay? So when I engage, okay, when I come in and do this attack, he's identifying. I am creating an opening for myself. That's what this exercise does. Right now, when I pass this, he's open right there, you see? So, but his objective is to try to close that opening off, okay? And that's what we're doing. We pass, just like this, and I come in, 1 and 2. Now, the other way I can do it is when he steps in to give me a 1, instead of doing this position, I do a roof. And I just go right back into the sombrado, just like that. Okay, and so when I want to, I'll go right here, bam, yep, and then we can do the movement. Okay, so I go here, but you want to give your partner a little bit of chance. Don't be so sneaky like I was. Okay, give yourself a little bit of time. Okay, I pass it, boom. See, now we're back into sombrado. Okay, I go here, and then I pass it. Now, you have to get the timing down. When you're doing sombrado real fast, you got to get the timing down to go like that. See that? And that's what you have to do. And notice I didn't give him the chance to be able to deal with it. So that's how me doing it when we're doing the sombrado. So if he does roof, do roof. See this? See that? See how fast I got my hand in there? So you got to practice this. See that? And what I'm doing is I'm actually pushing the hand a little bit. I'm not smacking the hand. That's very important. There's a difference between that, because I want to create the force to throw his hand off. I don't want to create the force or just a slapping motion, because if you do a slapping motion, it's no good. That's why, like in sombrado, it's very important that when you make that touch tactile, it is, a lot of people, when you train with them, they're hitting the hand. No, do not hit the hand. Because if for instance, when he does an inside deflection, okay, and he hits, if he taps my hand, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to create an opening. I'll show you from this side, just real quick. So if he taps my hand, that gives me the force to go into that position. Okay, and I think that is a very important aspect to all of this, because we need to understand how to make contact. What is the checking hand? The checking hand is simply to be there to make sure that that force doesn't continue through. So if I'm doing a 1 and he does a roof, and I'm not trying to, if they are continue to push, then that would be the contact. But you don't slap, you don't hit when you do the checking hand. Okay, so we go here, okay, and we pass. And so when I do that pass, I want you to pass and do it like this. Fling that hand. Okay, fling the hand. And then he gets used to being able to deal with somebody getting their hand and thrown to the side like that, you see? And so that is another aspect to it. So again, when he does the roof, I have to practice doing that. I have to practice getting the timing down. 1 and 2. See that? 1 and 2. And I have to get that hand to slip it in there to create that new line of attack. Go to our website, pinnaclecombatarts.com. There you can find out more about what I do and the classes that I provide. Thank you guys so much for your support, and have a great day.